We're counting down the 10 vanished candy brands you grew up with. Classics that once ruled corner stores, lunchboxes, and late-night movie trips. From bars built with secret samplers and wrappers you measured before biting, to wild flavors and celebrity tie-ins, each spot reveals how these childhood favorites rose, faded, and left legends behind. These are the treats that fueled playground trades and family road trips, lost to time but not forgotten by those who tasted them. Which iconic bar topped the list as the ultimate memory? Let's kick off our countdown with number 10. In the 10th place, the Marathon Bar stretched expectations and pockets with its unmistakable 8-inch length. A braided strand of caramel wrapped in milk chocolate and sealed in a bright red wrapper printed with a full-inch ruler. At checkout counters across America, the Marathon's ruler wasn't just for show. Kids and adults alike measured the bar before each bite, drawn in by the promise that it would last a good long time. Mars designed this chewy novelty to deliver more candy for your money. But the very features that made it a playground legend also spelled its downfall. The custom braiding machinery required precise caramel temperatures and constant vigilance to keep the shape intact, yet breakage rates soared as the bars snapped in transit or on store shelves. Retailers struggled to stock the oversized bars, and the added costs of specialized packaging and handling cut deeply into profits. Despite its memorable ads and tactile appeal, the Marathon Bar disappeared from shelves in 1981, outlasted by more practical, compact rivals. Did you ever try to make yours last the full 8 inches before giving into that first sticky, sweet bite? Number 9. The 7-Up bar appeared as a chocolate bar divided into 7 filled squares, each hiding a distinct center: mint, nougat, butterscotch, fudge, coconut, buttercream, or caramel. At a time when most candies offered a single flavor, this bar turned every bite into a mini treasure hunt, letting kids and adults alike search for their favorite filling. Launched during the Great Depression, its sampler format promised value and novelty, making it a mainstay on corner store counters and in lunchboxes for nearly 50 years. But behind the scenes, the machinery required to pipe 7 different fillings into one mold drove up production costs, and a protracted trademark dispute with the 7-Up soda company eventually forced Pearson's to limit advertising and national reach. By 1979, the combination of legal headaches and rising costs ended its run. Yet decades later, fans still recall which section they hoped to bite first. If you had a 7-Up bar, which square did you hunt for before the rest? 8th place. The Reggie Bar brought sports fandom straight to the candy aisle with a round, puck-shaped treat packed with caramel and peanuts, all wrapped in milk chocolate and sealed in a bold orange and black Yankees wrapper. This was more than a snack. It was a tribute to Reggie Jackson at the height of his New York stardom. On opening day in 1978, every fan at Yankee Stadium received a Reggie Bar, and when Jackson hit a home run in his first at-bat, thousands of these candies rained down onto the field in a spontaneous, joyful celebration. The smell of peanuts and caramel drifted through the stands as grounds crews scrambled to clear the sticky mess, an event still remembered as the original Candy Rain in baseball history. For a few short years, the Reggie Bar was a staple at concession stands and in baseball card trades. But as Jackson's career moved on and corporate mergers shifted focus, the bar faded from shelves. Today, it survives through memorabilia and occasional nostalgia runs, sparking debates about whether any candy ever captured the spirit of a ballpark moment quite like this one. Did you ever catch a Reggie Bar at the stadium? Or wish you had? Number 7. The Summit Cookie Bar tempted snackers with a promise of crunch and texture that set it apart from the softer, chewier bars of its day. Each package revealed 2 slim sticks, crisp wafers layered with roasted peanuts and covered in a thin shell of milk chocolate. Mars pitched Summit as the perfect solution for anyone craving a cookie-candy hybrid, and in the late 1970s, that innovation found a ready audience. But the very qualities that made Summit so appealing, its delicate construction and airy crunch, also proved to be its undoing. The bar was notoriously heat-sensitive. Even a short ride home in a backpack or a spot near a sunny store window could leave it limp, melted, or crumbling into pieces before the first bite. Mars tried to fix the problem by tweaking the recipe and switching to foil wrappers, but neither thicker chocolate nor clever packaging could outsmart a warm summer day. Distributors and store owners logged repeated complaints about ruined shipments, and consumers began to joke that Summit bars melted if you looked at them wrong. Sales never matched those of more robust rivals, and by the mid-1980s, Summit quietly disappeared from shelves. Did you ever open your lunchbox to find a Summit bar reduced to a sticky, chocolatey memory? Number 6. The Milkshake Bar brought a touch of soda fountain nostalgia to the candy aisle with its light tan malted nougat, wrapped in milk chocolate and often enjoyed straight from the freezer. Unlike heavier caramel bars, its airy nougat delivered a gentle malt flavor that called back to the golden age of drugstore counters, when a cold treat meant more than just ice cream. Throughout the Midwest and South, it became a summer ritual. Local grocers and corner stores would tuck milkshake bars into their coolers, selling them chilled or frozen for a premium. Kids with sticky fingers and sunburned noses learned early that a frozen milkshake bar could last through a slow walk home, its texture shifting from firm to creamy as it warmed in your hand. Introduced in 1927 by Hollywood Candy, the bar built a loyal following through decades of regional pride, even as national brands crowded the shelves. Its fate was sealed by a mix of corporate mergers and shifting priorities. After a major factory fire and a series of acquisitions in the 1980s and 1990s, the Milkshake Bar quietly disappeared, outlasted only by its more profitable siblings. Today, the memory lingers strongest among those who remember the freezer trick, a flavor and texture unmatched by anything on shelves now. Did you ever freeze your Milkshake Bar, or was it best eaten cold right from the store cooler? Number 5. PB Max arrived on shelves in 1989 as a thick, square bar that defied the era's candy conventions. Each one started with a sturdy cookie base stacked with a massive slab of real peanut butter, then sealed under a layer of milk chocolate. The ad campaign poked fun at its own name. PB could mean anything but peanut butter, unless you were in on the joke. In a market already crowded with peanut butter treats, PB Max didn't just compete, it dominated, reportedly pulling in over $50 million in annual sales at its peak. Yet despite its popularity and a fan base that grew louder with every discontinued rival, the bar vanished by the mid-1990s. Rumors swirled that Mars family executives simply didn't like peanut butter, and allergy concerns or brand clutter may have played a role, but the company never offered a clear answer. What's certain is that the decision to axe PB Max sparked one of the most passionate consumer backlashes in candy history, with petitions and copycat recipes still circulating today. For many, it's the ultimate case of a candy lost not to poor sales or changing tastes, but to internal politics and portfolio shuffling. Would PB Max outshine your current favorite peanut butter bar, or did you have another go-to when it disappeared? Number 4. Bar None promised a richer, more grown-up crunch than anything else on the shelf when it launched in 1987. Wrapped in dark brown and gold, this bar stacked crisp chocolate wafers with chocolate cream, scattered peanuts, and then sealed everything under a thick chocolate coating. It was Hershey's answer to the late 80s craving for deeper flavors and layered textures, a premium treat that quickly earned a devoted following. For a few years, Bar None carved out its own space, beloved for its satisfying snap and unmistakable chocolate punch. But in 1992, Hershey made a fateful decision. The bar was split into 2 slender sticks, each layered with caramel in an attempt to broaden its appeal. The change softened the original's crunch and muddled its identity. Focus groups and snack forums lit up with confusion and disappointment, and thousands of letters poured in from fans who missed the original. Sales dropped almost overnight, and by 1997, bar none vanished from stores. Today, the original version is remembered as a high watermark for chocolate lovers, while the caramel reformulation stands as a warning about tinkering with a classic. Did you crave the bold crunch of the original, or did the caramel version win you over? Coming to the top 3, Bonkers exploded onto the 1980s candy scene with a burst of neon color and a sense of humor that was impossible to ignore. Each chewy square hit a tangy, contrasting center, grape with citrus, watermelon with punch, delivering a jolt of flavor that set it apart from the usual chocolate bar. But what truly made Bonkers unforgettable were the commercials. Oversized fruit crashing through ceilings, sending actors into wild fits of laughter. These zany ads aired constantly during Saturday morning cartoons, turning Bonkers into a household name almost overnight. For a few years, the playground belonged to whoever had the brightest wrapper and the best fruit punch center to trade. Nabisco poured money into ad campaigns, and the result was a candy that seemed to leap off the screen and into lunchboxes everywhere. Yet as soon as the commercials stopped, so did the excitement. Without the wild TV spots, shelf space shrank, and Bonkers slipped quietly from stores by the late 1990s. Today, its legacy lives on in grainy YouTube uploads and nostalgia forums, where fans still debate which flavor center packed the most punch. If you ever tore open a wrapper, which center did you hope for first? The classic grape, or something a little more daring? In second place, the Sky Bar stands as a rare survivor among vanished candies. A 4-section chocolate bar that once made every bite a small adventure. Each Sky Bar came divided into quadrants, each filled with a different center: caramel, vanilla, peanut, or fudge. For generations of New Englanders, the bright yellow and red wrapper was as familiar as the corner drugstore checkout, and the ritual of choosing a favorite section, whether to start with caramel or save fudge for last, became a personal tradition. Introduced in 1938, the Sky Bar quickly became a regional staple, its sampler format offering a level of choice and surprise unmatched by single-flavor rivals. But the story nearly ended in 2018 when Necco, the bar's longtime maker, declared bankruptcy and shuttered its factory. For a moment, it seemed the Sky Bar would join the ranks of lost candy legends. Instead, a small team of Massachusetts locals stepped in, purchasing the original machinery at auction and teaching themselves the old production methods from faded manuals and memory. By 2019, Sky Bar Confectionery had revived the bar in limited runs, drawing candy pilgrims from across the country to their shop outside Boston. Today, the Sky Bar's ongoing afterlife is a testament to the power of nostalgia and local pride, a candy that refuses to disappear even as others fade away. When you finally get your hands on a Sky Bar, do you go straight for your favorite quadrant or savor each section in order? And finally, in first place, the PowerHouse Bar stands as the heavyweight champion of vanished American candy. A dense 4-ounce slab packed with peanuts, caramel, and a thick layer of fudge, all wrapped in milk chocolate. Its size alone set it apart, a bar so substantial that it often felt less like a snack and more like a meal, especially for workers looking for real fuel during a long shift. The PowerHouse first appeared in the mid-1930s, launched by the Walter H. Johnson Candy Company of Chicago. By the 1940s and 50s, it was a fixture at corner groceries, gas stations, and hardware stores across the Midwest and South. Painted window ads and delivery trucks proudly declared its presence, and the bar's reputation grew as a grown-up treat, something your dad might bring home after a day on the job, or share on a road trip, breaking off chunks for whoever was riding shotgun. Unlike lighter, nougat-filled rivals, PowerHouse leaned into its heft. The fudge core gave it a rich, almost bittersweet depth, while the peanuts and caramel provided a satisfying chew that lingered. It was the bar you reached for when you needed something to last, a candy that could stand in for lunch or tide you over until dinner. As candy trends shifted in the 1970s and 80s, with the rise of fun-sized bars and lighter textures, PowerHouse's very strengths became its undoing. Production costs climbed, and after a series of mergers, first to Peter Paul, then Cadbury, and finally Hershey, the bar was quietly discontinued in the late 1980s. No major revival has ever matched its original scale, but PowerHouse endures in memory as the ultimate lunch pail treat, a symbol of working-class generosity and family tradition. Today, the bar is remembered as much for its emotional weight as its physical one. A dad's candy, a reward for a hard day, or a shared secret between generations. Did you ever manage to finish a whole PowerHouse? Or did it always feel like a meal best split and savored? In the world of vanished sweets, it remains the bar that filled more than just an empty stomach. It filled a place in memory, too. From the oversized ruler-wrapped marathon bar to the hearty lunch pail legend PowerHouse, our countdown of 10 vanished candy brands reveals just how much American sweets were shaped by innovation, nostalgia, and changing times. Across all entries, a clear pattern emerges. Bold ideas, like multi-section sampler bars or celebrity tie-ins, often met their end due to production challenges, shifting tastes, or corporate decisions, not lack of fan love. Surprising stories, such as PB Max's discontinuation despite strong sales or Sky Bar's rare revival, highlight how business choices and cultural memory outlast the candies themselves. The most resonant brands offered more than sugar. They delivered ritual, rivalry, or a link to family and place. In every case, what made these candies qualify was their unique combination of flavor, design, and emotional impact. Together, these lost treats remind us that candy isn't just a snack. It's a time capsule of American life, shaped as much by what disappears as what endures.